Hola amigos, welcome to another video. Today's video will be about 4 lessons I had, 4 takeaways I had from first year. So some things I did well, some things I didn't do so well. And yeah, if you're going to first year, then maybe you can take this as a little bit of advice for you, as someone who just finished first year to someone hopefully coming into first year. So the first thing I have for you, it's a little bit of cliche, but definitely do put yourself out there, especially when you're still a first year keener and you still have the energy to actually go out there and try new things and explore new things. Personally, this past semester was online, this past year was online, but I actually found it less intimidating because when you're online, you're in the comfort of your own house and you're kind of just looking at a screen. So I think online Zoom University made the learning curve actually easier because I could focus on the event itself rather than just coming up with the courage to get over my nerves. Especially for me as an introvert, it's taxing for me to talk to people and meet new people, but it's been pretty rewarding regardless. So in my first year, I attended things like case comps. I think I attended 3 of them, Christian fellowships. I volunteered at a Christian conference. That's not really school related, but it's still like extracurricular activities. I went to boot camps. So if you're at Ryerson, you'll know that they have boot camps, like crash courses of certain topics like Python. They have VBA. So bottom line here, your first year sets the tone for pretty much your university. And this is the time where you kind of diversify and you find out what you do and what you don't want to do. And often knowing what you don't want to do is just as, if not more helpful than knowing what you do want to do. So to reiterate, put yourself out there and take that leap of faith, if you will, and you'll do well. So number 2, make a systems or organization. So especially in the first few weeks of class, it's super important to get your systems down pat. Unlike high school, there's only 10 weeks of university if you take out exams and tests. So there's not really that much room to fall behind. And make sure to click this link right here if you want to know how I organize my academics and how I plan my studying. So once you get your course materials and your course syllabus, make sure you start tweaking your system right away and have it perfected and down pat in pretty much the first 3 weeks of class so you don't fall behind. I learned this the hard way in one of my classes, QMS 210. For those of you in Ryerson, you know this course. I think like 94 out of 300 something people dropped out. I didn't get my graphing calculator until the 5th week of class. 5th week of class. I was just putting it off and just a combination of different factors. But that was a big mistake on my part because the entire course you need a graphing calculator. So it's kind of So ultimately, that's going to come down to time management and prioritization, because to make effective systems, you need to have a general sense of what you're after and your priorities, which leads me to my next point, which is to pick your battles. University and academics and social life and your sleep and your health is definitely a balance, and the 80-20 rule, diminishing returns Pareto's principle, that applies. So there's this triangle which says school on one quadrant, sleep and social on the other 2, and they tell you to pick 2. I don't believe in that because why can't you have percentages? So in a sense, I'm talking about opportunity cost where, for example, if it takes me 10 extra hours to go from a 3.8 GPA to 4.0 GPA, I might want to reconsider that because those hours I can spend somewhere else, like making these videos, attending case comps, attending more events, meeting new people, whereas the GPA increase would only be 0.2. So it's definitely weighing the diminishing returns of one and the other. And of course, that's easier said than done, but it's a matter of looking at university in the long term and keeping in mind your why and your priorities. Oh, and remember, you're paying for this degree. Well, I'm paying for mine anyway. So nobody's gonna watch over your shoulder to make sure that you're completing your work. So yes, focus on academics, but also balance that out with your health, your sleep, your nutrition, and make sure to enjoy this time in university. Have time to relax, explore side hustles, maybe have new hobbies, and just do things not related to school. Stress is good, yes, push yourself, but also know your limits. So like I mentioned earlier, uni is a time where you discover what you do and what you don't want to do. So do diversify, and that way you'll kind of have a general sense of what direction you want to go. And lastly, have a money tracking sheet. So my man Drucker, what gets tracked gets managed. So I actually spent a little more than I expected this past semester, and I only realized that because I had a money tracking sheet. And yes, there are nifty apps that track like the categories of how you're spending your money and things like that, but I've found it to be a little too clunky, so I created my own manual money tracking sheet in Excel, and there I have customized colors, I have graphs, and all that fun stuff. It's definitely a good habit for the future, especially now where you're not going to have as many things to track compared to, let's say, 5 years from now. And speaking of finances, actually from a bit of OSAP and scholarships, the school actually, as of right now, owes me $800, and if you want, that can be a separate video for another day. Let me know if you didn't want that video. So to recap the 4 points, number 1, put yourself out there and take that leap of faith. Number 2, make a system for each class and do it quickly. Number 3, choose your battles wisely. And number 4, have a money tracking sheet. With all that said, I'm looking forward to second year, and hopefully I can take the things I've learned from first year onward to second year, and hopefully it's in person so I can actually step foot on campus and see the campus for the first time. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. There's one coming up soon. So yeah, I'm Raya. Peace. Alright, someone is currently hammering in their backyard. So you may have seen this triangle